जी हाँ, Saranda Niga Swagat to the second half of my show, talking about the gallbladder, the gallstones, and the gallstone breaker PINNIYA. See the scroll at the bottom. My appointments are booked from Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Please do not call after 8 p.m. or during the time of the show. It's not correct, and we do not answer phone calls, and we do not answer calls on private numbers, withheld numbers. So please do respect that space and time. The 9:40 p.m. show is for you youngsters who have finished a day's work and you say you stop scrolling. You never used to watch a call show, and now you're watching the cook shows, the chat shows, and the hull shows. Thank you so much. Your feedback and your testimonials are of great value. They inspire us, but they also give us that will to correct and to make things even better for you. And really, I need to say thank you to all the people who have had treatment, who have achieved good health, and maintenance of good health after recovery is also very important. But this program of today of mine is to tell you that ਜਦੋਂ ਪੱਥਰੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੱਥਰੀਆਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ gallbladder ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, these can cause stitching pain, cramping pain. It is so amazing that a gallbladder is like a digestive backup system, and it catches the extra bile and it moves it to a safe storage area where there is nothing there to interfere with the whole of the digestive system at that time. But when you eat something, the gallbladder contracts and it squeezes out enough bile to digest the food smoothly and safely. Pathriya or stones will be formed when your food is incorrect, when the gallbladder has taken too much nonsense from you, when the liver has gone crazy, and when too much cholesterol, high saturated, hydrogenated fats are consumed. That's when the liver, scale of producing bile has gone over the top, and that's when you start becoming a victim of little mungi de dane. Starting from there can go to a size of black chickpea to white chickpea to sometimes even the size so big enough that the gallbladder has to be removed surgically, because in the duct, the bile duct is where the stone can go and sit there. That is a time where I never touch the patient. I would not treat them. I would not even sell them PINNIYA. The PINNIYA for like winter warming, the PINNIYA road runner are specific winter warming PINNIYA are given for warmth in winter. Amazing that, I had one, and for 3 days I felt that beautiful warmth in my body, and I thought, God mighty, this is so good. I wanted to, genuinely also take my own winter warming program, which is such a niche product, Sade Ayurveda de. Treating that with also Ayurveda would be the gallstone program that I do. But everybody should go at least once, 1.5 to 2 years, every 2 years, do a gallbladder flush out program with me. So good, because that could help you lose weight invertedly when you come out for a colon flush or a gallbladder stone breaker program. Patients lose anything from a quarter stone to half a stone, and some people have hit a target of 3/4 to 1 stone. Those are people who have had seriously bad diet, but then we are also supporting them with the food. We are also supporting them with the nutrition and their choice of food. As I started the program, folks, that the choice of food is when things go wrong. At this point, I'm not saying that if you are on a painkiller and if you are taking something for your gallbladder which is already diseased, I am not, see the scroller at the bottom, we are not responsible for you to give up your medical drugs by your GPs or your consultants in the hospital. Until you come and see me, I would then assess and maybe support you on your decision. Surgery at the time when the organ is diseased and beyond repair is the time of surgery. That is the time when the gallstones and the gallbladder can be removed forever and binned, because really then you will not be having a storage. It's like you saying, chal main attic block kar dena, or I'll block my garage, and where do I store my other lutter putter of the house? But the bile is not a lutter putter. The bile is such an important digestive product to help break up the fats, the proteins, the carbs that we need to get the goodness from. Some people will tell me, oh, when I eat nuts, they don't get digested, they pass out. Wake up. They passed out because you didn't chew. If you don't masticate food, there is no food mixer in your stomach. They say we see the end product, they're still in large pieces. Folks, because you gulp them, and you see salad and undigested carrots and sweet corn coming out, because you haven't chewed 30 times in your mouth to create saliva. When you smell food being cooked in the kitchen, or you walk into a place or into a restaurant, you say, that smells. That's the first point where the nose sends signals to the brain, to the salivary gland to make saliva. कहता मुंह च पानी आ गया, वाह जी वाह, कितना सोहनी खुशबू आ रही है खाने दी. I mean, so magical, our senses. But our senses, our own thinking pattern is, compromised, or we start not thinking for the well-being of our body, but the well-being for our taste. हाँ भाई मैं गुरुद्वारे खीर खा ली, full of fat. मैं तो पनीर खा हो गया, खा हो ही जाते समोसे ब्याह जाके, full of fat. Your choice. अख दी भुख, your choice, your weakness. Nobody's forcing that samosa down you. You've made that choice, and rather than substituting that with a nice nasta from home and saying, I don't want to have saturated deep fried food, kadi halwaiyan di kadaiyan dekho, the same oil is then refreshed with more oil. Do you think they're going to throw that oil away? All the black specks you see on the samosa and the spring roll is the oil that's been refried over 3 weeks period. Go to a chip shop and ask them how many times a week, or do they throw the oil every day? No, folks, wake up. That oil is refreshed with lard, and that whitens the oil again, or lightens the oil, nikhar janda tel, and then more dangerous vegetable cheap oils are put in. Do you think they're using olive oil? Of course not. Do you think they're using the rapeseed oil? Of course not. Because the food industry is victimizing people, and people it's beginning to become a situation where takeaways and food on the go has become a big story. You order online and the food, it's delivered to you. We've just become like lazy swords, and everything is comfort. Everything has to be the best phone, the best shoes, the best trainers, the best sneakers, the best tracksuit. Designer made that. Designer made babies now in America. You can make your baby the color, the hair, everything the way you want. These are designer babies, designer bodies. But this body that God has given, we seem to sidetrack away from it and think, okay, मैं एक बारी पिन्नी order कर लेनी है, फिर तो लोड़ नहीं पैनी. Well, when food is your staple diet, PINNIYA, and there was a lot of my patients have such amazing good sense. They said we should try every pinni. So every month they will order different formulas. Then they are actually feeding the body with the correct herbs and the correct constitution of nuts. It is nothing that what I created many years ago. And there's nothing that will be disclosed. So don't just call and say, "Ke sanu recipe page do." You don't go to a restaurant and have their dal makhani and chicken tikka and ask them for a recipe. Hell mighty, because it's better than another restaurant. They certainly won't disclose it. So please do respect the space, the time, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 07886 880591 te phone karna. Email ID manjeetkaur51@yahoo.co.uk. PINNIYA can be also found on sales at manjeetshop.co.uk. Booking times are from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'm only saying this again and again because calls would come at 9:50. They will try every number that is on my goodie bag, which is the bag that you get, or the carry bag, or behind the PINNIYA box. And it's like hounding on me. The calls will not be answered. Leave a message gracefully. We'll always call you back. So really coming back to gallstones that obstruct the flow of bile. Jado pathriyan ho gayan, ban gaye rode, and that affects the flow of bile for long periods, and to move into the organ, and can cause real pain, or the small intestine will not be able to digest the food. Symptoms of gallstones and could be when the body is fighting back, could be high temperature, over 38 degrees. It could be rapid heartbeat. You will just find a flutter. You might have a jaundiced yellow skin. You might have excess sweating on your face and body. You might have itchy skin, which is not very common for gallstones. But another one could be diarrhea. So I don't think we want to put down a picture in the back screen, but that pain would be massive cramping in the stomach to have diarrhea. Chills and shivers also, body temperatures, confusion, and also loss of appetite. Why? Because the bile is not being formed and there's nothing that the stomach can face to digest those foods. So, you know, it's so complex, the body, that we need to understand that how do we correct this? Diet, age, from young to the older, diet should be correct. This is where mothers should make the right choice. This is where painstaking time is taken away from my clinic time. The last filming we did on a Tuesday, it is Sunday. My third kitchen is still not readjusted. So it is like a mini vyah, all the kitchens are disrupted. Studio kitchen is there, you see the glorified, but what's happening behind the scenes? It takes me a whole week to get my whole kitchens and minimum 3.5 days of no income. If anybody can, you know, come and do seva and not expect anything, then I would salute you, you know. So really gender doesn't come an issue here, but the more fact is that more females have gallstones than men, and I will explain you why. That is also another reason. Age of from 22 to 20, from 20 to 25 people are getting on to 45 to gallstones. Low HDLs, which is your good cholesterol. It's very important to have the good cholesterol. When that is lowered, that can lead on to gallstones. They could be, obviously, your body composition could be wrong, large abdomen, you know, huge belly, restricting digestion, sluggish liver, sluggish pancreas, sluggish digestion, sluggish colon, sluggish metabolism, sluggish excretion. How in stages and in layers you ignite your car. The spark plugs trigger off, the ignition switch is on, the fuel runs through the engine, and the oil is going through the fan system starts. The car is now not going in a heat mode, but also cooling system at the same time. You know, this is mechanics of a car. The body is amazing mechanics, folks. I mean, I hope by the end of my show today, and those who are diligent watchers of the show enjoy it, get such a thrill, and they pass the information on to their friends, and they're saying they absolutely love the show and they talk it for days on end. So it's good to know. And a lot of English viewers, thank you for appreciating my show. And people ring from all walks of life to give their feedback. Diabetes obviously also affects gallstones and production of bile, you know, because diabetes, in fact, first is a, you know, disease of the rich. Blood pressure is obviously disease of the rich, too much salt, too much fried food. Cholesterol, a disease of the rich diet. Cardiac conditions, a disease of the rich diet. Rheumatoid arthritis, a disease of the rich diet. All these diseases are for people where first we have parents, you know, clogs to clogs, had few coppers, we had decent simplified food, and then money comes in and the food becomes more and more. Any person who's won the lottery or the pools or this, your body is a lottery. Take care of it. But when they won a lottery, the first thing that goes into is high partying and heavy partying, late nights and heavy food, and they become victims of weight and diseases. So money does not buy happiness. Money does not make you make a choice of your sensible eating always. Sometimes through a regimental programming of good shopping habits, you can maintain good health as well. So that has to come into equation. Now, we also wanted to check on what happens. Why is it that women are so much more victims of gallstones than men? Female hormones, which is the estrogen, it might be, very high, and that could cause gallstones. That could be one of the reasons for women. Estrogen increases the formation of bile. Birth control pills imbalance estrogen. Pregnancy time, estrogen can be displaced and all over the place. That time gallstones can form. The amount of cholesterol in the bile can obviously decrease the gallbladder movement. So if there's too much bile, the gallbladder cannot squeeze itself to pass bile through the duct. How amazing is this? It's like a balloon that you fill it up with water, you squirt it out. That's exactly what the gallbladder is doing. It's squirting the bile out for the digestion. Wow. So gallstone formation obviously comes through chemical products, beauty products, not naming any one. Then also through cleaning products, domestic cleaning products and other products. Water supply, water industry and food industry certainly has not been kind, to the water, which was such a beautiful, clean, sleek water on earth, which we human beings, through industrialization, have polluted rivers. That's become a big issue. Chemicals added in processed foods, which is the burgers, and to stop the food from getting fungus and bacteria, and so many other citric acids and phosphates added, and salts and bad fats to keep the food in, to stop it from rotting. Keep dal out for a day or two and you would certainly not want to eat it. Keep dal for 4 days, you'll certainly want to eat it from the fridge. Here comes dieting equations where food is delivered to your door. You just need to heat it and eat it. There's no barakat in that food. That food is only for one person, but not for Asian families or where they are, sukhanal between 3 to 6 to 7 members in a family. You cannot afford to buy these ready to packed meals, a 7-day planned meal, graze boxes coming through, whatever you need to snack through the days. This is single lifestyle of single people. Yeah, it's true that Indian girls, Punjabi girls are missing the boat. By 30, going on to 33, 35, 40, 42, missing the boat of marriage. So their estrogen levels will be all over the place because their progesterone hormones have not, and they are now also heading to perimenopausal. They are more, bound to be victims of osteoporosis, osteopenia, joint pains, fibromyalgia. All these things play a big part in other disturbances of the body. Obviously, excess estrogen can cause fat cells to become resistant to normal breakdown. We all have about 200 fat cells, but how fat they will become? For some, it will be the original size. For others, they would be very fat globulins that add cellulitis to Punjabi stomach, men's stomach, women's thighs, buttocks, back, shoulders. That is cellulitis fat now. Obviously, medication of several liver diseases can cause estrogen disturbance, and the impact of a gallbladder, the valve, which is like a muscle, which will open through the bile duct, is controlled when the bile gets or jumps out from the gallbladder out through the duct. So magical is this whole program that, it sometimes brings me a huge amount of emotions talking about an organ, but I guess you just put your head on the pillow and make the same mistake tomorrow, because the first thing you're going to get around is going to go and have the bad cereals. Go for gluten-free oats, which is a good fiber in its own self, but without that lace, without that gluten, which is one of the biggest killers. I've been to some really great trips away from this year, last year, and realized how many Americans and people on these trips and holidays are celiac and have gluten sensitivity. Huge amount. I was shocked. Anything you do and overload becomes nonsensical for the body. Overload the oil in your oil tank, the dipstick will start showing a huge amount of oil, and your meter, being electronic cars, would say too much oil. You put too much water into your radiator, it's an overflow. You put too much food, you'll be gagging, you'll be belching, you'll be burping, you'll be having a heartburn. Don't overdo. Always leave room for something and a little space for something. You overfill your bin bag, it's going to spill. You overfill your vacuum cleaner, it's not going to pump and it's not going to do the job. So really all these things play a big part. This is where the equation of my PINNIYA and the Stonebreaker PINNIYA have been launched, which is 18 pounds a kg. Have them as a snack through the day. The brain food PINNIYA, the super brain food PINNIYA, the blood sugar PINNIYA, the blood pressure PINNIYA, the cholesterol PINNIYA, detox PINNIYA, which have been running from September till the 31st of October. After that, obviously that will not be promoted again, that price. And then look at the Roadrunner PINNIYA, fantastic. Anybody on high caffeinated drinks, where you think you're going to get the buzz from coffee and these caffeine drinks, high sugars, and just water with carbonated gas syringed in there, pumped in there, is not a way. The actual ingredient is microscopic amount, 0.03%. That's such a bluff. You're buying a can, you're paying for the advertisement, you're paying for this glorified picture on the outside, and it shows some real power, but that little surge of sugar burst and that coffee is just there for a little short span before you have a crash out and a little bit excess weight on your belly again. So coming to the good fats now, which is not for everybody, but it is just a good thing to have. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Add that to 1 glass of organic apple. It should be red apple and never green. It should always be organic, and always remove the seeds of the apple because that's cyanide poisoning. Never put whole fruits in all these things that you're buying, that they're pushing fruits there to make chutney, a load of nonsense. Until you do not masticate juice, you have not extracted the chemical breakdown and the good enzymes in the juice to make it a fantastic juice, bouncing with what Mother Nature is giving to you, but not whipping them and adding things and waters and rice milk and I don't know what the hell. You're making a chutney, and the body, it's now gone through massive heat process. You've lost a lot of the goodness in that juice. For some people who have never even had that, for them that could be one of the biggest miracle pickups, because all the rest of their life they've been eating rubbish. So organic apple must de-seeded, and 1 glass of organic apple with 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Or when you have an attack, have it immediately, and 15 minutes later you might find a bit of ease before that cramping pain stops. But never green apple because of the acid content. Or you could use 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in 2 tablespoons of lime juice or lemon juice with about 750 mils of water. So effectively do about this much glass of bottled water. It should be a good quality water. Distilled water is only what we promote, because there's no lime scale and there's no bad sediments there what other waters have. About this much glass of water, bottled water, and sip that through the day if you don't want to drink it immediately. Really, now to reduce the load of 750,000 surgeries done every year, rising every year more and more, because more and more youngsters are becoming victims of this cramping pain. Do we really need to burden our system and then blame that NHS is not the perfect running on billions of pounds? We need to appreciate. Go into other countries where you need to put your hands into your pockets to even have an X-ray or a tablet or a painkiller or an antibiotic. It'll make you think twice that this welfare system is amazing. Obviously, red beet is very important, beetroot. Then comes in artichoke. The leaves of artichoke, need to boil them in about a glass of water and chew on the leaves, outer leaves of the artichoke, which is a vegetable which Indians don't indulge in, but it's fantastic. It looks a bit spiky, it looks a bit different and a bit hard, but boil the leaves in pink salt, pinch salt, and have the leaves chew and throw the rest of the stalk away. Wine tomatoes, very important. Red tomatoes, just as a nutritional antioxidant, and also coming on to yellow tomatoes. Those two are so good. Then having jamana, which is very good for you. Colon hydrotherapy is what I do, and the gallbladder flush program, you can ring me up and take that program. For some people it could be a 3-week regime, for others it could be a 5-day regime in which a coffee implant is put in and specific amount of products are given to burn to get rid of the stones. You can physically see them come out. But let me now think you need to just have a glass of water and have a very sound sleep tonight. Till next Monday, stay tuned, keep watching. Read the telephone number at the bottom, 07886 880591, manjeetkaur51@yahoo.co.uk. You can email me. I'll take you to another show talking about another organ, a journey to your good health. Take care of yourself, and your gallbladder can never be replaced. Goodbye. Sat Sri Akal.